So what are the top 5 US stocks that you can potentially look at right now, all right, as we move into the last quarter of 2020, right? So these are some of the stocks which are, the popular ones, but over the past few weeks, we have seen weakness in the US markets, hitting a high, it came down, many of the technology stocks have sold off, and it kind of like presents an opportunity for us to kind of get in again on some of these names, right? And today I'll be sharing just 5 stocks, the 5 US stocks, which, we can potentially start to accumulate on dips for any good rebound, all right, for the longer haul, whether it's for the long term, for the short term. We look at the charts and dive into each of these counters, right? So right over here, I'll be talking about just 5 US stocks in my watch list. Take note of them right over here. So number 1 would be Tesla, all right, Apple. I think all of you know Apple, Zoom Video Communications, Amazon, and Nvidia. All right, so these are the 5 stocks we're going to dive into the charts, right? Looking at some of the levels whereby you can think about entering on dips, and also we'll look at the systems that I have to see what comes out, if there are any bullish, signals, any exits that want to look at, and if there can be more upside. So this will be what will be covered right now on these 5 stocks. So this is Tesla right over here, one of the really good companies in a very strong firm uptrend, I would say, in the long term. All right, we have seen a bit of weakness recently, but there can potentially be some opportunity to kind of get in again. Right, so Tesla is in the business of kind of like manufacturing, distributing and selling electric vehicles all over the world. All right, and they're doing really well. And over the past, I would say 1 month, what happens was the company have kind of done a 5-for-1 stock split. All right, so the price have kind of came down by 5 times, and those existing shareholders who have the number of shares they have will be increased by about 5 times. So fundamentally, it has done nothing to the company, but it kind of brought the price down to be a bit more affordable. All right, so this is Tesla right over here, and after the price have adjusted downwards, we can see that uptrend looks intact in the long to mid term. Look at this, the red line, the blue line, they're all sloping upwards very gently. All right, a very, very healthy uptrend. But in the short term, of course, we saw a bit of profit taking. I mean, based on the adjusted prices, about $500, that would be the immediate resistance. Prices kind of sold off, came back down right over here, and over the past, I would say 3 weeks to about a month, all right, we have found a bit of support coming in about 360, right, 350 to 360. Look at this right over here, 350 to 360, a bit of a support coming back right over here, and that's where you can potentially start to accumulate, right? I think we're going for the long haul. Right now we might, in the short term, we might consolidate from like 350 to probably about 460, right, 360 to 460 right over here. Let me just draw some upside targets right over here. This would be the range for now. I would say anything above that 350 support level, it still looks quite good in the short term. We might see a rebound. We have kind of sold off, rebounded from here, and sellers might come back again, and that's where we can potentially head down and start to bargain hunt again, right? So in terms of the short-term moving average, look at this green line right over here. So the green line was like moving up and kind of flattened out right over here and started to consolidate, and it kind of broke that resistance to push up. So this is exactly what is happening right now, right? We're starting to see this green line, the 20 days moving average, starting to flatten out, probably moving sideways for now, all right, over the next few weeks. And that's where it might start to consolidate in this range, the 350 to about 450, up, down, and it might potentially start to attempt to push higher and break that $500 mark, right? So this $500 would be the immediate, right, resistance level that is capping this entire counter right now. But if we do break that 500, that would be the uptrend can start to continue even further to probably to 600, 700. Then we might even draw more further upside targets for Tesla. Okay, so this is Tesla, as of the 1st of October 2020. It looks good in terms of the long term. These are one of the counters whereby you can hold on, right, to ride the uptrend, as long as many of these key support levels are holding. So this is Apple currently trading at about $115, right? So one of the really good uptrending counters that you can put in your watch list as well. Also, think about kind of buying on dips, for this counter for the long haul. Okay, so Apple have come down a stock split, a 4-for-1 stock split end of August. So the price come adjusted downwards by about 4 times, and of course, existing shareholders will have their shares increased by about 4 times as well. Right, so this is the adjusted prices for Apple, currently about $115. So you can see that we kind of sold off after hitting a peak of around $140, $135 right over here, sold off. Many of the technology counters sold off as well, and Apple is one of them. But it seems like a bit of support coming back. Let me just draw some good support level whereby you can think about accumulating again for Apple. This is one of those that you can really start to load up again, all right, for the long haul for any potential rebound, right? So right now you can see that the support wise is at about the $100. Look at this, the $100 right over here, all right, 100 to 110. In fact, we've kind of rebounded over the past 2 weeks from there, and that is where, all right, the red line is. This 100 days moving average red line kind of coincides with this $100, which would kind of provide a bit of support as well for Apple, right? So anything above, I would say 100 or maybe even 110 right over here, that would be the upside target reversal to that $120. So right now, I would say it's a bit volatile. We might consolidate in this like $20 range, right? 100 to 120 right over here. We're currently about 115, right? So that's where sellers might come back again. But if it does no retrace back down again to near that 100, it can potentially be a good opportunity, all right, to kind of get in again for any potential rebound, right? So this $120 would be the immediate resistance level. Let me just put it up as the red line right over here. So $120 would be immediate resistance. It seems like sellers are still lurking there, all right, and a bit of profit taking is coming back. But I think if we do break that 120, that's where the upside reversal can continue, and we might start to push higher, right, to kind of retest the high that we've seen, right, to $140. That would be the adjusted prices after the stock split for Apple. But right now, I would say Apple is one of those really good uptrending counters. You've been like pushing upwards gently since the beginning of the year. All right, moving averages are all looking good, and it's one of those companies that you really want to hold on to. All right, for the long haul, right, to ride the uptrend. Of course, you can take profit every now and then if you hit certain resistance level. That's where you can lock in some of those profits as well. So let's take a look at what the system says for Apple. All right, so this is the 1GT system, one good trend system, which I have kind of like scan out stocks that are in a good uptrend or maybe even downtrend. In this case, for Apple, it's a good uptrend company, all right, and we have some bullish signals, an entry, an exit somewhere in May, in June, all right, we have an entry again, exit, and right around here somewhere in July, all right, we got a 1GT bullish entry, started to push up, and then we got an exit, we kind of hit the peak right over here on the early of September. So right now you can see this is where we are right now, about $115, same as what I've shown you just now, but there isn't really an entry signal or an exit signal, right? So yeah, there isn't really an entry signal. So we have to see probably if it does push above that 120, we might see a good bullish entry signal coming again, and that's where we can potentially start to see more upside, probably to that 140 level, right? So this is Apple, as we've seen from the system that I have, that kind of alerts us to any of those bullish counters and whether is there any entry or exit signals. So before we move on, be sure to hit the like button, right? Give me a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel. It will definitely help out the channel a bit, and thank you so much for doing this, right? So let's get on to the next counter, which will be Zoom, right? Zoom video, I think all of you would know Zoom, right? Just when COVID-19 hit, and a lot of these face-to-face meetings are all cancelled, everybody has been looking to Zoom, and we have seen their revenues, right, hitting record highs, right, since the beginning of 2020. You can see that it's been like pushing higher and higher, a very strong and firm uptrend, I would say, right now, and we kind of hit the peak of about $520. Let me just zoom in the chart right over here to show you. All right, so this is where we are now currently trading at about $470. So a very, very strong uptrend. Look at this, the red line is pointing up, the blue line 200 days moving average is sloping upwards very gently as well. All right, so right now we can see that a bit of resistance at about that 520 level, right? 520, that was what we have seen, a bit of selling coming back over the past 1 to 2 weeks. But right now, I would say some good support is coming back around that 440 to 450 level. That is where the 20 days moving average is as well. Look at this right over here. All right, so after 440, that's where we might potentially head towards the next support at about 360, right? 360, that would be the next support level. But right now, it seems like we've been holding quite well, right, above that 440, and buyers are starting to come back up. So this is one of the counters which, after COVID-19, you can see they have really strongly benefited from the whole entire crisis. A lot of people are going to those virtual meetings, and this is where it will be, all right, in the next few months or even up to next 2 years, all right? So Zoom will definitely benefit from that as well, right? So in terms of the trend, chart-wise, looks really strong. I would say anything above that $400 to $440 or $440, the uptrend looks pretty much intact. We might even attempt to kind of push higher and break that 520. All right, 520 I mentioned will be the immediate resistance. If we break above that 520, we might potentially hit up to about $600, and that's where our target can be revised higher, right? So this is Zoom, all right, one of the uptrending counters which I'll share with you. We've seen a bit of weakness, a bit of consolidation recently, which can potentially be a good opportunity to start to get in again. So let's take a look at what the system says for Zoom. All right, are there any bullish entry signals and all that, right? So this is Zoom right over here. I've kind of entered the name Zoom. Okay, and this is where we are. In fact, yeah, we do have some bullish signals coming in around August. So yeah, entry, exit, kind of headed up a bit, sort of, right? And we got an entry signal in August, right? On the 18th of August, a 1GT bullish entry signal. All right, started to push up. We got an exit, all right, and then That's right over here on the 18th of September. Just a few weeks back, about 2 weeks back, we got another bullish entry signal, right? And yes, here we are right now, as I mentioned, we are about $470. So it seems like this one GT bullish entry signal has no exits as of now. So yes, I think it's looking still quite good, right? Above that 450, 440, as mentioned, the support for now, all right? There's no exit signal, so there could potentially still be more upside for this company. Hopefully we do see that break, some bullish price actions above that 520, as I mentioned, and that's where we can start to see this this stock pushing higher to probably about $600, right? So this is Zoom, a bullish entry signal with no exit as of now. So the next company would be Amazon.com, right? The largest e-commerce player in the world, all right? Billions of dollars in sales every single year, and a huge variety of products by themselves, by third-party vendors and all that, right? So this is Amazon right over here, currently trading about 3,000, all right, 148, right over here. You can see that, since the beginning of the year after COVID-19 hit, right over in 2020, right on here, that's where we started to see it kind of broke that 2,200, and the uptrend really accelerated all the way to here. Okay, so recently, just about last month in August, end of August, early September, we kind of saw a bit of profit taking. Many of the technology companies sold off, and Amazon was not spared as well, right? But now it seems like we've kind of like hit some of those really good support levels, and that's where you can think about getting in again. Okay, so this is Amazon. You can see right now a very, very strong uptrend, right? It was pretty much like consolidating sideways in like 2019. Look at this right over here, pretty much sideways. Look at the moving average, it was like moving sideways. But just when COVID-19 hit, after February, March in 2020, started to turn up, the moving averages all started to point up, and that's where the uptrend really firm up, right? So you kind of hit a high of about 3,500, right, in August, right? And that's where some profit taking came back. But right now you can see that we are seeing a really good support right over here at the 2,900, right? 2,900 we have been holding above since July. I would say about 2 months plus holding above, and that's where the 100 days moving average is as well. Look at the red line, whatever, it kind of like coincides with this 2,900 level. So yes, I mean, if it does retrace back down to this 2,900 level, it can potentially be a good bargain hunting level again to kind of accumulate on dips right over here, right? But right now we are looking at the resistance level, where some profit taking is happening. Yeah, it's somewhere around that 3,200 level. Let me just draw right around here. Yes, I would say somewhere around here, 3,002 to 3,003, that would be where we're seeing a bit of profit taking right over here. Okay, so that's where you can also think about getting out again, because in the short term we might be consolidating in this range from about 2009 to about 2002, 2003. Okay, but I would say in terms of the long-term trend, this is one of the really good uptrending companies that you want to take note of. You can hold for the longer term, as long as many of these key supports are holding. In this case, it would be a 2009. That's where the uptrend looks really intact, and that's where you can ride further. So from the system, we did had a bit of a bullish signals as well. You can see somewhere around June, all right, we got a 1GT bullish entry signal, started to push up. We got an exit, another entry, all right, started to push up again, exit. And yes, somewhere I would say in July we got the final bullish entry signal, went all the way up, and that was where it kind of sold off in early September, and that's why we got an exit. But right now you can see right over here 3,148, but right over here there isn't any entry and exit signal, right? So yeah, hopefully if we do push above that 3,002, right, 3,002 to 3,003 immediate resistance level, potentially we might see a bit of a upside, and that's where we can potentially see another bullish signal, right? And that's where we can look at it, right? So this is a system that we use to kind of guide us in terms of entry and exit. I mean, it kind of scans out counters, and also guides us on when to get in and when to get out as well. So the next company I'd like to share with you is this company called Nvidia Corp, right? One of the manufacturers of the graphic card, CPU, computer graphic processing units, and all that stuff. All right, and they've been really doing well. And in terms of the uptrend for this counter, it's been a very, very strong uptrend, I would say, since like the beginning of 2020, right? So kind of dipped in when COVID-19 hit, but started to see a bit of support coming back and kind of rebounded from there. All right, and right now we are currently trading at about $541. You can see $541. So a very good uptrend in terms of the mid to long term. Look at this, right? The red line, the blue line, they're all gently sloping upwards. But in terms of the short term, we have been consolidating and pushing higher, consolidating and pushing higher, which is a good thing in terms of of a healthy uptrend, right? So a very good support, I would say, over the past 1 month coming out at this level, which is the 470, 470, 475 level. Let me just put this line as green color right over here. So very good support here, and we got rebounded from it over the past 2 weeks, and we broke that immediate resistance level at about 530, right? 530 to 520, that was the immediate resistance level, and it seems like we kind of like close above this level over the past few days. All right, and that's a good thing in terms of the upside. We might potentially head towards the psychological resistance at $600, right? $600 US dollars. That would be where we might see a bit of profit taking coming back again, right? So we might consolidate from like 540 to 600. That would be the upside targets right over here. But this counter, the uptrend looks quite intact, and if we do see more bullish actions breaking above the 600, we can potentially start to see more upside to that $700 as well, right? So this is Nvidia right over here, and let's take a look where it shows in terms of the system. So this is Nvidia Corp, right, on the 1GT, right, one good trend system. So yes, we did had some bullish entry signal somewhere in April, an entry, we got an exit, started to push up a bit, and we got another bullish entry signal, started to push up, another exit, and somewhere around here, I would say in July, right, end of July, right over here, we got a 1GT bullish entry, started to push up by more than 10-20% all the way to around September, and we got an exit, right? So in fact, over the past few days, right, so this is counter you want to take note, because we got a 1GT bullish entry signal just on the 28th of September. So a few days back, we got a 1GT bullish entry signal, started to push up slightly, currently trading about $541, and it seems like there is no bullish exit as of now. So yes, I think we do hold above that 540 520 mark. We might potentially head towards 600, and I'm not too sure whether an exit will come out. It might even attempt to break the 600 to push even higher, right? So as I mentioned, this is one of the good uptrending counters that you can put in your watch list to ride the uptrend in long term, and also think about taking profit whenever it kind of approaches any of those key resistance level, whereby some profit taking can come back again, right? So Nvidia right up here, a bullish entry signal with no exits. So there we have it, guys. These are the top 5 US stocks that you can potentially look at, right, to kind of accumulate on dips. The fact that many of them have seen weakness in the past few weeks, you can start to look at bargain hunting some of them as well, right? So the 5 names, let me just do a quick recap: Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, and Zoom, right? So I hope you have taken note of some of these key levels, right? So this is the first time that I'm covering stocks in the US market, so going forward, I'll try to look at many of the stocks in the US market and Singapore market, and you kind of discover many of these good names as well, whereby you can monitor, right? So if you're not hit the subscribe button, be sure to smash the bell and the subscribe button so that you will be notified whenever any new videos like this comes out, right? So Joey here, thank you so much for watching. Take care.